Welcome to the fabulous Las Vegas Rotary Club. Rotary International President.
Come on, Jackie, unmute yourself. There you go. Yeah.
Okay, thanks. Welcome to the fabulous Las Vegas Rotary Club. Rotary International President Mark Daniel Maloney's theme for this year asks us Rotarians to strengthen the many ways that Rotary connects the world, building connections that allow talented, thoughtful, and generous people to unite and take meaningful action through Rotary service. Our club demonstrates every day how we are living President Maloney's mission with our local and international service projects through unity, connections, and action. My name is Jacqueline Thornhill, and I have been incredibly honored to serve as your 97th president of the greatest Rotary Club in the world. Thank you for participating in our Facebook live stream or Zoom. On this day in TV history in 2002, the television singing competition American Idol debuted on Fox. In music history in 1993, the Ike and Tina Turner film biography, What's Love Got to Do with It, opened. And in US president history in 1963, President John F. Kennedy delivered a televised address to the American people on civil rights. And quote of the day comes from comedian Ron White. We have hearing aids in order to fix our ears. We have LASIK surgery in order to fix our eyes. People, ... you can't fix stupid. Our invocation will be led today by Tina Bishop.
Tina, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Okay, great. Let us lean into the spiritual strength within each of us and pray. Lord, thank you for everyone that is here today and for each mind and heart that fills the presence of this Rotary meeting. You've blessed us with so much, friends, family, laughter, and love. May we always be thankful for our blessings and live our lives such that the world is better off for having us. May those of us that have share with those that have not. May those of us that can do for those that cannot. May those of us that are loved love those that are not. You've given us so much. Please, Lord, give us also a heart that is always grateful to you. Amen.
Thank you, Tina. That was lovely. We are celebrating Flag Day this weekend. So if you just want to, well, if I can keep it here straight, that would be nice. Oh, we already did that, I know. Okay, so if you want to just give you a second to read that. This is a history on Flag Day that Stu found for us today. Okay, moving on. And our song today. Oh, crap. I mean, technical difficulties. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, there's our upcoming schedule. It's getting a little shorter. Okay. Our Sergeant at Arms today is Kirk Holmes, of course. And if you would, Captain, turn the microphone over to past President Karen Wisenhunt. We have several guests today.
Okay. Me too. Karen. Karen, if you can unmute.
Okay, I'm unmuted. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, great. Well, I'm delighted today to introduce several guests, one of which is Florence Mayer, who is our Las Vegas Rotary Club World Peace Fellow, and she'll be talking in a little bit later. Our District Governor, Luann, our past District Governor, Lou de Silva, District Global Grants Chair, Bill Payne, Marilyn Diaz, who is our District 5300 Global Grants Committee member, and I'm not sure if Marilyn's on or not. District 5300 Global Grants Committee, and she will be the World Fellowship Chair next year. And then two very special guests, Carly Burnham, who is a World Peace applicant, who's applying for the World Peace Scholarship, and she is currently in Dominican Republic joining us today. And then our sweet little Shantae, who's the Las Vegas Rotary Club Global Grant Scholar, and we're hoping that they lift the travel ban so she can complete her application form. So thank you, Jackie. Back to you.
Thanks, Karen. Turn the microphone over, please, to Tony Kern to introduce a prospective member.
Tony, go ahead and unmute.
Hi, it's my pleasure to introduce today Kim, and I'm going to mispronounce the last name, so my apologies in advance. Chmielewski. She's an RI lead. We just spoke earlier today. She's got some USO volunteer background, and she's also out at the Nellis Air Force Base. So welcome. We're checking her out. She's checking us out.
Welcome. Thank you very much. Let's all give a hand for our visiting Rotarians and guests. Thank you very much. I'd like to thank the Rotarians who helped out today. Invocation was Tina Bishop, Sergeant at Arms, Captain Kirk Holmes. Our scribe is Jana Velasco. All things technical, Kirk Holmes and Stu Lipoff. My announcements today, People of Action campaign, please send your People of Action to me. I have one more wheel next week to produce, so if you have some pics, please send it to me. A reminder that your monthly or quarterly contributions to our Las Vegas Rotary Foundation is what helps fund our projects. Please consider donating to the permanent or the endowment fund to keep our club legacy going. Good news, Lowry's is open and we are meeting live on the 18th, which is 1 week from today. See the email this week for the protocols and directives. I was asked to give this additional information to people before they come next week, so this is directly from Lowry's. Service will look different. We will not be able to serve anyone coffee or other items prior to when everyone is seated. This means no coffee beforehand. Once all guests are seated, servers will enter and service will begin. We are also asking guests not to congregate at the registration table. Of course, we understand people will want to mingle, but we want everyone to stay safe. Water and tea will be placed at each table. Carafes are no longer allowed. We will also not be selling raffle tickets at this particular meeting. And lastly, I've received a lot of emails from some of you who are making the assumption that you are on the RSVP list. I have not seen that as yet. And as per the email I sent out, it's the first 47 based on a timestamp. If you did not make the first 47, you will be placed on a waiting list. So please don't make the assumption that you're automatically on the list simply because you sent an email. I would love all of you to be there, but unfortunately it can't happen at this meeting. The virtual Green Book, we still have 3 live events, socials that we're doing this month. So scan that QR code in the wheel or send Sean your RSVP, because all events for the remainder of this month must be RSVP. I have one more wheel, as I mentioned, so if any of you do want to highlight your business for the virtual craft talk, please send me your logo, a nice picture, and 250-word max description of your business. And now it gives me great pleasure to turn over the microphone to Florence Mayer, our Peace Fellow from Japan. Her info is in this week's wheel, but she's got a little presentation for us today.
Well, thank you for that kind introduction. So I know that time is limited. So in the chat box, I'm going to put some contact information so that if I'm not able to answer your question or you want to learn more, you can contact me via email. And also there's just a few links to check out. So I've just put that into the chat so that you can have that if you want to follow up. So I have a PowerPoint prepared, and I'm wondering if whoever is running the technical of this meeting could give me the permission to share my screen with you.
You're good to go.
Okay, let's see here. Okay, so I hope that is displaying.
It is.
Okay, great. All right, so I'm Florence Marr. I'm a Rotary Peace Fellow at International Christian University in Tokyo, Japan, which is one of the Rotary Peace Centers that's funded worldwide. And a little about me: I was born in Oregon and my family moved around frequently, finally settling in Las Vegas in 2004, where I spent a term at the University of Nevada, Las Vegas, working at the Clark County Health District, before ultimately transferring to Howard University in Washington, D.C., where I graduated with a degree in politics and economics. And I first got to know Rotary while I was at Howard, when I did a community service project in Jamaica with a club in Mandeville, Jamaica, helping to set up a computer lab at a local orphanage there. After I graduated in 2009, I went to Germany as a Fulbright scholar, and then ultimately I joined the US Department of State as a Foreign Service Officer from 2011 to 2018 with tours in Mexico, Italy, Honduras, and Washington, D.C. Let's see here. So I decided to apply for the Rotary Peace Fellowship because I was interested in doing my master's degree in peace and conflict studies. And I had heard about the program from Karen many years before, when I was still an undergraduate student, I believe. And she had introduced me to the program, but at that time I didn't have the requisite work experience to apply for the Rotary Peace Fellowship. You need to have at least 3 years of work experience. So then, after working at the Department of State for 7 years, I finally met the criteria, so I was able to apply. So a little about the Rotary Peace Fellowship. So this is part of Rotary's focus area on conflict resolution and promoting peace worldwide. And Rotary has made a tremendous investment in 8 Rotary Peace Centers around the world. So this map shows some of them, but it doesn't actually show the most recent, which just opened this year in Uganda at Makerere University. So there's one in the United States at Duke UNC Chapel Hill, one in the UK, one in Sweden, one in Thailand, one in Australia, and the one that I attend, which is in Tokyo, Japan. So the goal of these Rotary Peace Centers is to contribute to sustainable peace by building a network of peace builders and community leaders dedicated to preventing and resolving conflicts across the global community. So this, of course, also includes training and educating these peace builders. So the Rotary Peace Fellowship has 2 tracks. There's the master's degree in peace and conflict studies, and then a 3-month practitioner course that's more field-oriented and hands-on. So I participated in the master's program, which I'm finishing up now. I'm going to be officially graduating at the end of the month on June 30th. So now I'm going to talk a little bit more about my fellowship experience. So I arrived in Japan in August 2018. started with a month-long survival Japanese course, which was necessary for even very basic things such as grocery shopping. So this photo shows a local Japanese community member helping me identify certain things in the grocery store, which can be very overwhelming since everything is all in the Japanese kanji. So this course kind of helped give us some basic skills to navigate the Japanese language environment. However, fortunately, the actual course itself is all in English. That would be our master's degree courses are all in English. So at the university, we're not taking classes in Japanese. Our classes are all in English. So my first year was devoted to coursework. And then the second year had more of a focus on writing a thesis, which I successfully defended last month on May 22nd. So I have officially completed all of my graduation requirements with the successful completion of my thesis. Let's see here. So one important component of the program is that in addition to the 2-year master's degree, the academic training of the coursework and the writing the thesis, as we also have a lot of field experiences. So in Japan, since we are in that country, which has the only one to have experienced nuclear bombing, we visit Hiroshima to learn about that city's very painful legacy and the lessons it can teach to the world about the horrors of nuclear war. So we went as a group to Hiroshima in March of last year. And then another interesting aspect of having the Rotary Fellowship is the fellowship includes funding to allow us to do field experiences such as research in country, so outside of Japan, and also an internship or some kind of professional development. So last summer, I was able to go to Mexico for several weeks to do interviews in Mexico towards my thesis. So I spent 6 weeks there interviewing policymakers, activists, and business representatives for my thesis on business and human rights in Mexico. And while I was there, I was also able to present at 3 Rotary clubs across the country in Monterrey, Mexico, which is where you see the photo of me there with the president of the Monterrey Rotary Club. And I also presented in Merida, which is on the Yucatan Peninsula, kind of near Cancun, and in Oaxaca, which is sort of in the south central side of the country. So the clubs were all very diverse, and I really enjoyed the conversations with the Rotarians in Japan. And then my another field experience that was very important was I was able to intern at the Organization of Economic Cooperation and Development, an international organization in Paris, France. And as a result of that internship, I've received an offer of employment. So I should be hopefully starting there in the fall, assuming that the global pandemic does not continue to disrupt everybody's carefully laid plans. Let's see here. So one of the things that's really kind of wonderful about being a Rotary Scholar is that you have this sort of in with the local community. So when I arrived in Japan, my Rotary host counselor met me at the airport. So here's a photo of the sign that he prepared. And here's me kind of presenting him with a banner of the club, which I also have a banner that I've kind of kept in my apartment too, which you can see behind me. I guess right now you can't, but when we go back to the regular screen, you can see the banner behind me. So the Rotarians were very hands-on, and they organized a lot of activities for us. So we had lots of a very busy social schedule. There was always some kind of dinner that we were being invited to. And I also presented at the district conference, had to give a short speech in Japanese, which was very intimidating, but a good experience. So there was a lot of kind of engagement through the Rotarians. And then I also worked with a local NGO that was trying to integrate international students with local community members. So I did a bunch of activities, including a bilingual peace workshop, leading an English conversation club throughout the 2 years, which we're still doing, but online, and also singing in a local bilingual choir. Let's see here. So you're probably wondering about the impact of the pandemic. So I'm still located in Japan. I haven't been able to return back to the United States yet. So here in Japan in late February, kind of the Japanese government declared that, the government needed to take everything seriously. So all of the extracurricular and social activities and museums and everything shut down. The university remained open until March when the classes went online. And at that point, Rotary International offered to return everyone to their home country. But for many people, the borders and travel restrictions had already gone into place. So in some cases, fellows were not able to return home. And in other cases, fellows, like including myself, decided to remain in Japan for the time being, just due to the very low rates in Japan. Like Japan has not been heavily impacted by the pandemic. And there's lots of speculation in the press about why that is, but the numbers are very, very low. So for me, the strange upside of the sort of shutdown was that it occurred at the time that I was writing my thesis. So in some ways, it was sort of helpful because there were literally no distractions for me to finish my thesis, which was very ironic. So anyway, now in Japan, the state of emergency has been lifted and people are starting to go out, although there lots of events and things kind of remain sort of canceled out of caution, and they're still like heavily monitoring the situation, and travel restrictions remain in place. So due to me trying to move to France to start my job there, I decided to remain in Japan until I could move to France, just due to the difficulty of international travel in the current environment. So I want to thank you for your support of sponsoring me for the Rotary Peace Fellowship. And I also want to encourage you to recruit new applicants for the Rotary Peace Fellowship. It's a wonderful opportunity, and the clubs and the districts are the front line for recruiting and endorsing and helping applicants navigate a very long application process, which Karen did such a wonderful job of helping me through. So be on the lookout for applicants who have at least 3 years of work experience in something related to peace or international relations or social justice issues, and encourage them to apply. And also, if you're interested in Rotary's work on the peace and conflict resolution focus area, you might also consider joining the Rotarian Action Group for Peace. So I have put my email address in the chat box so that if you want to contact me with any questions that we don't get to, then you can reach out to me there. Also, I have here and also in the chat box a link to the ICU Rotary Peace Center page, which includes a blog, and then also the website of the Rotarian Action Group for Peace. And just one final thing that I want to mention is the Rotary Peace Fellowship Alumni Association, of which I will be a member in a few short weeks, is planning a global cyber peace conference on June 27th, which will have programming in all different time zones. So wherever you are currently living, if you're in Tokyo like me or in Las Vegas, like I mentioned most of you, there will be some event happening in a time that is friendly for your time zone. And you can register for the conference for free using the code AccessPeace, which I've put in the chat box. I've also put the registration link. So I encourage you to check that out. All right, so now I'm gonna stop sharing my screen and go back to the, okay, here we go. So I don't know if there's any time, I might have exceeded, but if there's any time for questions, I'd be happy to answer them. Or if there's no time for questions, please email me at florence.mar@gmail.com.
Florence, I would love to open up for questions, but we still have a fairly large presentation to get to. So I just wanted to say to you, what an amazing experience you've had. Thank you for sharing your time with us today. I know that your future looks amazingly bright, and we're so proud as a club that we were able to sponsor you. That's just something we're extraordinarily proud of.
Thank you so much. And thank you again to everyone.
All right, we know we have your PowerPoint from Karen, so she's going to share that with us and your contact information and everyone. So I will encourage anyone that would like to email, keep up with what Florence is doing. I'm sure she'll be happy to respond to any of us. So the best of luck to you in your future.
Thank you so much.
All right. Okay, everyone, now we have to move to the main event here. So as your screen comes up, please just, Captain Kirk will release your microphone and we will start our club assembly. This is the second club assembly of the year and final one so that we can wrap up everything, the amazing things that our club has done during this year, despite some of the challenges that we've gone through. I also have put a lot more detail into the wheel, so be sure and take that and take a chance to read through that and see all the amazing things that all of us have been able to complete this year. So first up, you know what? Never mind. I got a few announcements left. Sorry about that. Let me get out of there for a second. We do have some announcements that we have to do. So Kirk, would you give the microphone to Tony Kern about the upcoming membership orientation?
Hi, everyone. We have about 17 people that have RSVP'd. That is the final count for the orientation on Tuesday, June 16th at Jerry Engel's house. We're looking forward to a fun evening. There's going to be some special added tips to it. So it'll make it very special for all those in attendance. There will be 3 people subject of the orientation. That's going to be Adric, Bobbin, and Inga, and we're looking forward to it. So thank you, and thank you, Jerry, for opening up your home.
Thank you, Tony. Just a reminder that District Assembly is virtually tonight and so for the next 3 weeks, be sure and sign up and get some good information about your upcoming areas on your board positions for next year, and just a refresher for those of you that are continuing on the board. Highway cleanup, we are going to do that on June 20th. And of course, Mr. Senes, Jerry Senes will have the brunch afterwards, but there is a RSVP required for that. So please contact Sean or go to the virtual clipboard and sign up for the last highway cleanup of the year. Please turn the microphone over to Melanie Muldowney, please, about our foundation match.
All right, we still have a few more weeks before the end of the Rotary year. So if you still want to take advantage of getting matching points from the club, you can still do that. Just let me know and I can tell you where you're at and what you need to do to get to the next. Thank you.
Thanks, Melanie. And we do have some of our recognition already collected, and we'll be doing a presentation at next week's meeting. Please turn over the microphone to past President Jim Cole, please.
Hi, everyone. For those of you who weren't on earlier, you can see from my background, I'm practicing for President Jackie's debunking party. And we're looking forward to seeing everyone who's going to be there. It will be both live and in person at Rose Falaco's house. And you would need to RSVP for that. And we also are setting up a Zoom meeting, so you'll be able to attend by Zoom as well. And we're really looking forward to it. We're going to celebrate all of Jackie's great accomplishments, and we'll try our best not to drown her.
I would appreciate that. Thank you all. Looking forward to that. Okay, now we get to go to our club assembly so we can talk to you about all the wonderful things specifically that our club has completed for this year. So first up, this is as you all know, this is our mission statement, teaching youth to succeed through literacy, education, and life skills development. In each of our projects that we do, we have this in mind, and we want to cover this area. So everything we do starts with our mission statement. Part 1 is the core membership, and please turn the microphone over to Tony Kern, please.
Tony, go ahead and unmute.
Actually, it was Rosalie that was going to speak.
Okay, where's Rosalie?
Okay, let me find Rosalie here. All right, Rosalie, you're unmuted. Go ahead.
Okay, can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, hi everybody. So membership. Our committee and our subcommittees are responsible for recruiting, mentorship, education of new members, attendance, retention, and fellowship. As of the end of April, we had 136 total members on our roster, and that included 7 in the honorary category. In the past 30 days, we've inducted 3 new members. Our improved website, which we have put together, thank you to those who've been working so hard on that, has generated interest in our club. Also, we are getting leads from Rotary International, which are being given to us, and that provides us a really strong pipeline resource. Members of the club have also been active in recruiting and referring individuals, and we want to encourage you all to continue to do that. We currently have 2 new potential members sourced from RI, so we're working with those. An application is currently out to one of them, completing that. Our goal for fiscal year end was to net 10 new members. However, we've been impacted by COVID, so that's deferred or changed interest kind of across the board. Additionally, we've had some resignations. We've also had passing of members from our family of Rotary, so we are currently at a -5. But we are very optimistic that next year we will turn that number around.
Thank you, Rosalie.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it. Community service. This was really big. This is what Rotary is all about, and we have a lot to report here. Kirk Alexander, the mic is yours.
Here and accounted for. Can everybody hear me?
Yep, you're good.
Very good. Next slide. Next slide. All right. So some of the things I'm going to talk about happened in the first half of the year. So I'll be reiterating some of the accomplishments of things that are calendar specific. The first one being the SOAR Awards. It was led by Jamie Goldsmith, and she did a phenomenal job. She got community leaders there. She had the mayor of Las Vegas there. It was an awesome turnout. So we're going to continue to do that. Hopefully, that's most of these things where there's large meetings will occur again in this year. Usually this happens between November and December. Next slide. We always have a friendly competition with the local Kiwanis Club. They usually show up for lunch on this day when we have the announcement of who won the Canned Food Drive. Our Canned Food Drive is led by the 25 Club, and this year, as we have in the last 8 or 9 years, we beat the pants off of Kiwanis by a long shot.
Try 14.
What? Say again?
14. This is our 14th
14th year. But I mean, this was by a large margin.
Okay.
We had some years where it's been a very large margin, and this was one of them. Next slide. Santa Claus, every year, Las Vegas Rotary is highly recognized for this program. And again, without fail, we exceeded expectations. We had an incredible turnout, and the kids, I think, had not only a great shopping experience, but a wonderful day at UNLV. Next slide. This is one where we really, unfortunately, this is something that occurs throughout the year. And the recent pandemic delays and separation of everybody, we haven't been able to conduct this award ceremony. So I'm not sure when we'll be able to do this next. It's been off and on, off and on, off and on. So, but the Wetzel Awards are a big deal to us, and we're going to continue to pursue that as soon as we possibly can, and they'll let us back on the base. The next slide. Okay, so Will Buckley, next slide. Walter Bracken, and Spread the Word, and our project at Long. So Bracken, Beckley, and Long are our elementary schools where we do a number of different things. Spread the Word is a big, big proponent of our work that we do at Beckley, where we have monthly meetings and do reading with the kids where we hand out books and they have breakfast and spread the word shows up. They read a book to them, and it's an awesome experience for the parents and the children. With Bracken, we have a Kitterack club there, and I think we're making some progress with them. We had some setback at the beginning of the year, but we are making progress with the principal at that school. And at Long, I will say that we were granted something called the Leffler Grant, which contributed $1,000, where we matched $1,000 to give to the school for their reading projects. So Bracken, Beckley, and Long are very large projects for us that stick to and adhere closely to the club mission. Next slide. Jackie announced that on the 20th, we will be having a highway cleanup. Of course, all of this came to a halt when this happened. Our last one was in February, and we had breakfast thereafter, went off without a hitch. That was a great morning. And we look forward to the one that's coming up here, which will be 4 months since we'd had the last one. And we will be having breakfast, as she said, at the Cenis Cafe, as I like to call it, afterward. Dead as a doornail. No baseball this year. The minor leagues were canceled 2 weeks ago for good for this year, and we'll have to look forward to next year. And of course, the Magical Forest, which is at Opportunity Village, is something that we heavily participate in, and it's a seasonal thing that occurs usually in the middle of December. They had a very nice turnout this last year, and we're hoping that all things progress fast enough so that we can continue to do that for the coming year. And that's it.
Thank you very much, Kirk. Bill Houghton is up, Youth and Vocational.
Can everybody hear me okay?
We can hear you.
Yeah, great, thank you. Our area was impacted like any other one. So TLC back in December was an amazing event. The kids that went, our club sponsored 12 eighth graders, and it was extraordinary. The entire event was awesome. RILA was originally scheduled for the end of first quarter, late March, and it was of course pulled off the table. At one point, district thought that we could move it over to the end of October later this year, and since then that's been pulled off of the table as well. So for the 15 students that we paid for and sponsored at a cost of $4,500, we're actually going to essentially give them first right for next year's RILA. And what it appears we're going to do is we're going to take 2 RILA years and put them together, presumably end of first quarter of 2021. So those aren't off the table forever, but certainly for this, the balance of this calendar year, they're off the table. So let's see, Kirk, can you advance the slides?
Yeah.
Over Interact and Rotaract clubs, we have a handful of reaches out to the various schools about carrying that forward and getting some clubs set up over there. Andy out at Nevada State College, Arborview High School's on our radar, and it's there's so many reasons that this is a successful program and should be a very successful program. And anyway, with the schools being shut down and everything, we haven't made any steps towards that, but we certainly, I don't think we've necessarily lost traction as well. So that continues to be a huge objective for our club. So let's see, Kirk, can you advance? The 4-way speech competition, thanks for Rose for helping with that. Took place, we actually held that back in February. And anyway, and it was a great event. It's one of my favorite each year. And Rose, thanks for your help with that one. Let's see, next one was our probably our best music competition we had seen for a minute. Judith helped with the Dan Stover music competition. I can't imagine anybody in the city of Las Vegas more equipped to do a brilliant job on our music competition than Judith. And it really, it went out very, very well. So thanks for your efforts there. Kirk? let's see, and then the peace conference that was held back in November. We started our meeting with talking about peace and the impact in the community, and that was early November, and so that actually did happen. And next. Oh, and that turns it over to Mr. Ted.
Ted, you're up. International service.
Thank you very much, Bill. Thanks, President Jackie. Slide, please. Well, I'm going to talk very briefly about these. Let's go to the next slide, please. Our contribution for this year, Jackie's year, was $5,000, and we built 2 houses, as you can see, in fall of 2019, and we got a $2,500 rebate because the COVID situation has canceled all house building in Mexico. Slide. This is Karen Wisenhunt's gem, also international soccer tournament, and we were able to sponsor this year 18 boys from Germany, and it did occur. It went off without a hitch. Balls were kicked in February. Slide.
And we won it all.
Thank you. World Peace Conference, you're probably aware of that. Michael Williams led that effort in the fall. First time in Las Vegas, Treasure Island. It was highly successful, and the topic was very germane to situations we're dealing with right now, human trafficking and other global issues that are impacting the world. Slide. International Youth Exchange. We have one student in Paris, but unfortunately, because of the COVID issues, International Youth Exchange for 2020 is canceled. Open World, that actually falls under the global grants, but I'll talk about it right here. Educational issues, we had the ladies come in from the Ukraine. They were just incredible, and they have actually reached out and working through Karen and other elements within Rotary. Looks like we're going to be able to support them in an effort dealing with autism in this year and perhaps even into 2021. Thank you. All right. This is a slightly outdated slide, but I do want to mention a couple of things. The home improvement and healthcare effort in Honduras, which was part of Michael Gordon's year, is finally making its way through the Rotary Foundation. And that's an $8,600 commitment that we made to them. COVID-19 projects that we've been involved in, $3,000 for Colombia, South America. It was redirected from a humanitarian project to a COVID project. And also we are joining with a Rotary Club in India to help them with their suppression of the COVID virus. If the Calavan School project in Armenia, we made a $1,000 gift to them, and they did a bathroom remodel. And again, it looks like, let me briefly mention that the Open World project is part of the grant and gift committee. And we're going to take some money out of Jackie's budget, combine it with Richard's budget, and hopefully make a significant contribution to the autism efforts in the Ukraine in 2020. Thank you.
Thank you, Ted. Melanie is up.
All right. Hello, everyone. Let me just speak for a moment before I get into my slides. I won't be continuing on the board next year, so I just wanted to say thank you for having me, and I was glad to serve the board for 4 years, and I probably most likely will be back. So you haven't heard the last from me, but it'll be the last from me for a little while. All right, next slide. So I was in charge of the International Foundation this year, which involves Paul Harris Fellowships. Even though with COVID, we still did pretty well in our giving to Paul Harris and to the International Foundation. So we had 15 new Paul Harris Fellows this year. And you can read from the slide, but 6 + 1, 5 + 2, 4 + 3, 6 + 4, 2 + 5s, 1 each of +6 and +7, 4 + 8. We had 1 major donor and 1 major donor level 2. We had 1 benefactor level and bequest level 1. And then several members took advantage of the matching plus points promotion. And I still got reached out today to get people their level to take advantage of that club points. So it's still going on until June 30th. So just let me know and we can maybe increase our numbers for the end of the year. Next slide. A lot of the things got turned down, halted by COVID as much as everybody else. Our vocational projects, because we couldn't get together, that was hijacked. So hopefully for next year, everybody is super excited to put something together and to get that going on. Our Global Grant Scholar, which you heard from today, picture there, plus you could see her in the Zoom, she's there. We're still planning to send her next year. Hopefully travel ban's lifted and we get to send her. We hope the best for her, Shantae. And international grants, we, like Ted said, we are working with one of the people that we met in Open World for a project in Poltava, Ukraine. So that will be really exciting to continue those relationships with Open World. Next slide. Our goal this year was for every Rotarian every year for our club. That didn't happen. I can't really, somehow my pictures came to the front of the slide, but we only had, I think, 94 members that were every Rotarian every year. So I just want to tell you a little bit more about every Rotarian every year because, those donations go to great projects. You can see where your money goes on the little flow chart to the left. And then all the different categories that the money goes to on the right. So I just challenge you all for the next Rotary year to get 100% of members at the Every Rotarian Every Year status. And that would be really awesome for our club. So thank you for having me and I will see you next time I serve on the board.
Thank you, Melanie. Kirk, you're up.
All right. Am I unmuted?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. All right. So public image. So just a little bit of stats. So the website currently in the last year, there's over 9,300 people that visited the website, equating to about 180 to 190 visits every single week. Due to COVID, there's been a ton of live streaming, obviously of Zoom, also on our Facebook. So the Facebook traffic has also been up. And I just want to give a shout out to Rebecca Roberts Holmes, my wife and her team to keep that website up to date. And Rob Pistone for public image at the club level. Stu for jumping into district and RI, making sure that everybody around the world knows about what's going on with our club. Aaron Overton for taking all the images that everyone submits to Jackie and posting them all over social media so that way the world knows what kind of amazing stuff we do. Huge shout out to Dr. Andy because of the amazing speakers and the huge juggling this past year due to canceling and getting Zoom and making sure that they had everything they need in order to do their presentations each and every week, which was challenging to say the least. So huge thank you to Andy. Also, Bill, even through all the COVID, making his team was getting the wheel out, getting it up to date, and getting it sent out with changes, with all the speaker changes on a very consistent, regular basis each and every week. So huge thanks to Bill. Obviously, Jim Tucker. He had an easy job this year since he didn't have to take very many pictures because of COVID. So, he's smiling and happy about that. But all the pictures that, when we are meeting face to face are taken by Jim. And when not Jim, he finds somebody to replace him. So huge thanks there. And Steve Linder, he's probably still driving and needs to pay attention to the road, but huge thanks for Steve Linder. Every single year he takes and updates the entire Rotary history. And this past year annotated it. So we have an unabridged version in our Rotary directory and the full version is available on the website. And so this whole entire team makes my job super, super easy. So thanks to all of them for making sure that the world knows the good work that we do in our community.
Thank you very much, Kirk. Howie Hopkinson, Special Projects.
Hello, can you hear me?
We can hear you.
All right. Hello, fellow Rotarians. Just a little update. This was my first year as a board of director. I'm very blessed that Jackie picked me to be on special committees, special committee director. It's been fairly smooth. It's a truly well-oiled machine. Long-term club strategic planning, working with past presidents has been, just a reminder that how involved all the presidents, even the past presidents are. Randy Campanelli has been great for me in this, just checking up with him, checking constantly. We're not a lot, but with Tom Krob on the Constitution and the insurance, he seems to have a great grasp on that and likes to continue to take that on every year. I think last year was one of the years we actually had to make quite a bit of changes, especially in the membership arena. So district grant writing, Jim Hunt, Michael Gordon, they stay on top of the biggest grant we have with Santa Claus. That seems to be very well oiled. Jamie Goldsmith steps up and is a huge compliment to the 25 club advisor. She's perfect for that situation. She's agreed to join one more year on the board there, or as a committee chair. And then thank goodness for Deb Granda. She's been great in all these years, so many years of involvement with district RI, district conference. Obviously this year, district conference and district assembly were canceled. But we were able early in the year to get all of our information for the district RI awards and recognition in, which we are proud to say we did receive the presidential awards at the highest level, on the platinum level. And we are expecting to retain the governor's bell and continue to prove that we are the GOAT Rotary Club in the world. So thank you all. Grateful for you all. Last night was great to finally get to connect with some of the Rotarians face to face and be able to give out some hugs. So look forward to seeing more of you guys in person next week.
Thank you, Howie. Fundraising. I don't know. I know Richard's on the call. I don't know if Eric Astromecki is.
I'm on.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Push passes Kirk. So recap of kind of our year. We had to postpone our cuisine and octane. We are in discussions and kind of doing some collaborations with some other entities later on this year, possibly early next, but we're not anything firm yet. Fortunately, COVID kind of made that one unable to continue. But we're looking forward to rescheduling it and having it bigger, better than ever. So next slide, Kurt. Wine to Water. There were 2 events within this past Rotary year, August and November. Total raised was $1,933. The big change this year was having this event kind of stand on its own and not be tied to one drop, which was something that Jackie really wanted a shift towards. And I think provided COVID, there's no other reason we can't do more with this upcoming year once things reopen up. An additional $2,000 was raised for the community first from member donations as well as part of it. So next slide, Kirk. 25 Club, the fall event, Halloween party. This was actually something that started a few years ago, and it used to happen, and then it kind of fell off. We kind of brought it back. It was done at the distillery at first, and then I forgot where this last one was this past year, but hosted in October. Where was it?
It was at Russ Swain's house.
Oh, Russ Swain. Yep. We kind of did this coinciding with the canned food drive. Goal was 10K, and we raised just shy of that 95. And as somebody already recapped before, we beat the Kiwanis for another year in a row. And that margin keeps growing larger and larger every year, which is great to see. Next slide. Cigar Social, the one that got away this year. Kirk, maybe we'll have to get that one rescheduled, huh, buddy? You know, he was super excited about that. So hopefully, I'd like to see one of these come this year, but we had one last year, October 25th. We raised $880 total since this program has been around, is just shy of 18,000. I'd be surprised if it really isn't over that. And then not early 20, but early 2021, or hopefully once our club gets back into Lowry's, there shouldn't be any reason we can't have one in the fall. So stay tuned for more on that. Next. Yep, that's it for me.
Okay, who is speaking on the foundation?
I'll fill in for President Randy.
Oh, you're on, Dan.
All right. Well, hello, fellow Rotarians. I'm pleased to speak on behalf of President Randy and be your president-elect for the foundation. We've done great things. We're going to be giving $61,622 to incoming President Richard Jost for his budget for next year to accomplish all the wonderful things that you've seen in the presentations before. A shout out to Jason Buckley. He's our new Tiberti Fellow. And you apply for that by giving $1,000 or more to the endowment fund. And I'm happy to report that even in this pandemic and a recession, that our endowment fund is, as of today, $2,486,390. That doesn't mean that we should stop there. The need is larger. And so anybody who can give, I encourage you to give. We're going to try to pump that up and get to the next level and do a lot more good for our community. I think that is it for me.
Thank you, Dan. How do we celebrate? Anil Melnick, you're up.
All right, there I am. Okay, I just want to talk about our general strategy for upcoming fellowship activities. So, of course, we're going to have to take a look and see what restrictions we're under and how we can best serve the club and how we can keep everyone safe and allow the maximum number of people to attend. I've also had some conversations with Richard about if some of these events are not possible, to shift some of our efforts more toward community events that help to benefit the community at large. Next slide, please. So Alpine Picnic, we're going to have to table this for the time being and until the status of this can be updated. I know this has been a tremendously popular and fun event in the past, and we're hoping to be able to put it on again this year, but the exact date and location is still to be determined. Next slide. UNLV tailgate party. We all know that they're going to be playing at Allegiant this year. There's a target date, but unknown is what the status of tailgating is going to be at Allegiant. And so therefore, whether we're going to be able to hold it there in one of the parking areas or hold it somewhere else. So that's going to be kind of a common theme with all my slides. You can go to the next one. It's going to be the same. Putting tournament also going to be to be determined. I'm going to have to ask for a lot of flexibility. Now on this one, on the holiday party, I have been in contact with some great venues which are ready to host the event, and I'm pretty excited about some of the venues that I've been talking with, it's just gonna, again, I think we're just gonna have to be flexible in terms of how these events are structured. But right now I've definitely gotten some enthusiastic response, and I think we're gonna be able to get a great value considering some of the out of town demand that might not be there for these for these venues right now. So it's gonna allow us to do something pretty nice, hopefully. So that, I think that's it. Yeah, that's it for me. Thank you.
Okay. All right, I'm just going to close because when the pandemic hit and we made the decision to shut down starting from mid-March, March 13th, which was going to be a cigar social, We didn't know how long this was going to be, but we wanted to make sure that we participated in COVID-19 projects wherever possible. So I looked at the budget where we could reallocate some money that was for projects that were going to happen during this time, and how could we redeploy that money into our COVID projects. So we have 4 of them here that we have conducted in the last 3 months. First one was called Flatten the Curve, where I reached out to the local Kiwanis clubs who partner with us in the canned food drive for the Salvation Army at Thanksgiving time. Asked them, and I put the call out to all of the clubs in our local area, all 18, and asked if they wanted to participate. The Salvation Army was looking for PPE. They were looking for bottled water. They were looking for gloves to be able to help the homeless clients. So we ended up partnering with Kiwanis. We gave 1,000, they gave 1,000, and the Las Vegas Rotary Club West donated $100. So we were able to give $2,100 to the Salvation Army for Flatten the Curve. Next thing, when the international convention was canceled and they offered the masks to purchase to be made from the t-shirts, I immediately ordered 250 of those. I gifted one to each of the club members that showed up to pick it up, and the remaining were divided between Veterans Village and Sunrise Hospital. Both entities had reached out to me and asked if there was anything we could do, so I wanted to help them wherever we could. Then we knew that Metro, we wanted to help our first responders. So I reached out to Sheriff Joe Lombardo and asked him how we could help. And he sent me back a list of things that they needed, one of which was an N95 mask, which is what they were required to wear for the people out on the street. And I didn't know where to source it. And then past President Karen Wisenhunt came up with a source for N95. So I immediately put in an order for 200. And along with a generous donation from Joan Murdoch, we were able to purchase those 200, and we gave them to Metro. And you can see some of the pictures that I posted on our social media, and Metro also posted on their social media. And Sheriff Joe sent us a very nice thank you. Last thing we did was I was looking for final use for the community grant money. So I contacted our USO people at the time, Dave Thorson and Carrie Serrano, and asked them what could we do, because obviously we'd had a couple of Wetzel projects or Wetzel presentations that needed to be canceled due to COVID, but what could we do? And they came up with a project called Nature is Neat. And what we did is we met at the YMCA up in Centennial Hills that day, and the word was put out to Creech Air Force Base. And what they did was these cute little garden kits were put together by the USO based on the grant of $2,500 that we gave them. And it was offered to the children of Creech Air Force Base service members. And it was so amazing that they all lined up and came, and we gave them their little garden kits, and they were so excited. And they also got some Monster drinks, and they got some pizza coupons that were donated. So that is how we were able to do what we could in the last 3 months to help our local community with the COVID-19 projects. So the Las Vegas Rotary Club, the greatest Rotary Club in the world, and now you know the reasons why. There's also, please look at the wheel, because there are a lot of things that are detailed in there and summarized, so you know exactly many of the things that we did that were not covered in this presentation. We've done a lot more. I want to thank all of you for your very hard work. The board members have been amazing. You've been very supportive of me. We've made an amazing team, and I can't thank each and every one of you enough. And I'm just so excited that next week we will be able to meet again locally at Lowry's, and a good way to close out the year and have the live meeting, the last one of the year. So with that in mind, I think that that is our last slide, and it is. So I'm going to escape out of that, and I'm going to move on. So, in the words of a woman I most admire, Amelia Earhart, no kind action ever stops with itself. One kind action leads to another. Let's leave today building connections, taking kind action, serving one another, and rejoicing in the fellowship of Rotary. Meeting adjourned. Please feel free to remain for a few minutes